Nadine was born and raised here in Washington State. She's an award-winning broadcast journalist, a mother, a business owner, and a proud Spokaneite. After the broadcast and news jobs in Idaho, Nadine arrived in Spokane in 1990, first working at KREM, then moving to KXLY in 2010. During her television career, Nadine made the Spokane community the focus of her work, both on and off the camera. And she supported and emceed events, fundraisers, and served as an honorary chair for multitudes of different causes. A few of them, the Spokane County Alzheimer's Association, the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, the Go Red for Women and American Heart Association, and I see a lot of red today, the Ann Ogden Hall, Teen Challenge, Rescue for All, and the list goes on and on. She also has a Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of Portland. So with that, please join me in welcoming our new mayor of the city of Spokane, Nadine Woodward.
And that I would faithfully, honestly, and impartially. I have to admit, I was a little nervous about getting sworn in as Spokane's 45th mayor. That day, just about 5 weeks ago, I pledged to lead and nurture this wonderful community to the best of my ability. Later that night, we hosted a small reception where I had another chance to meet with Spokane residents and hear their hopes and dreams for our city. A city I moved to way back in 1990. Little did I know at the time, Spokane would become my permanent home.
Spokane's East Central community is getting a new restaurant.
You see, for a lot of television journalists, Spokane is just a stepping stone to bigger markets and bigger paychecks. But the more I learned about Spokane, the more I realized this is where I wanted to raise my family. A place where hard work is rewarded with a great quality of life. A place that I've come to love, and now I have a chance to preserve and protect it. Fortunately, I am not alone. I have assembled a very dedicated, experienced cabinet, the department heads in charge of daily city operations who always have an eye on improving our productivity. During my short time as your mayor, I have found city employees are conscientious public servants, trying to give taxpayers the best bang for their buck. I had a question, if I could ask, if you don't mind. And I'm learning from our police department about what needs to be done to make our neighborhoods and our downtown safer.
And I also want to acknowledge that Mayor Woodward has joined us again this evening.
I am committed to collaborating with our city council. It's a two-way street. We have to travel this road together to make the best decisions for our city's future. I want to make sure the city is contributing to business growth and development, not getting in the way, but most of all, it is my job to make sure residents are getting the responsive city-supplied services they deserve, to make sure everyone has equal opportunities to succeed and enjoy all that Spokane has to offer. Growing up in Vancouver as a teenager, I spent many summers picking strawberries and zucchini. I know how to work hard. And if we work together, we can accomplish great things for our city.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. How do you like the color? Purple. Purple all around. Get used to it. We are the Lilac City, by the way. And just a special thanks to Pastor Lonnie Mitchell. Your prayer really hit a chord with me because that's what we need to do in our city, is be united and work together and be inclusive. And the spirit of your prayer today is the spirit of my administration. So you spoke so well about that, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Well, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of people, so I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I want to thank Alicia and GSI for giving me the chance to deliver my first State of the City address. I have to say that it's been a very, very busy first week. It is an absolute honor and a privilege to serve you as mayor. I, in a perfect world, would be maybe giving this speech after my first 100 days, but we have things to talk about, even though it's only been 1 month. So thanks for coming out and being willing to listen. It has been a very short but extremely busy first month in office. So today isn't necessarily a day to talk about track records. Because of that time, it's going to be looking at our vision moving forward for the next 4 years. So I am so excited to be here now to outline the goals that we are establishing for the next 4 years. The first month has been focused, I can say, on getting to know all of our city department heads and our departments as well, fulfilling some key leadership positions, and there are a lot of them, so that takes time, so that we can build on the great work that's already being done. Every day I am invigorated by the city's exceptional employees who come to work with a passion every single day to serve our community and deliver on that excellent customer service. You saw in the video just a few weeks ago when we had our first major storms of the season, and I got to ride along with Dave Beardsley. He's the city plow truck driver. He has been with the city 34 years and still feels the very same satisfaction as he did back then, every single day. His desire to ensure that our city streets are safe for pedestrians and motorists is truly inspiring. We have great employees at City Hall, and that story needs to be told. And coming from a place of being a journalist in Spokane for 28 years, I am thrilled with the opportunity to not just serve as Spokane's mayor, but to tell all of those incredible stories. Not only am I inspired by the hardworking employees, I'm excited with the growth of our business community. That growth is creating livable wage jobs for our residents, as well as bringing new families to our area. We've all seen the growth. From 2018 to 2019, the growth in new businesses doing work in Spokane in 1 year grew 45%. That is incredible. And the average age demographic remains strong in the 20 to 29 age group. So we're not losing all of our great talent to other places as they look for opportunities. We're creating opportunities here. I am thankful, Dr. Christine, for the colleges and the universities who are providing excellent education, but also retaining grads so that we can build a stronger community. So thank you for all of the work that you do. It is vitally important that we take the momentum that we have right now and get to work. That's what we need to do. Our administration is very excited about that. Expanding opportunities in key business sectors, strengthening our housing options for residents and also for all of our newcomers, while also addressing the challenges that our vulnerable citizens face every single day. Creating lasting change won't be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. But we have to come together, all of the stakeholders coming together at the table and listening to each other. I know that we'll be able to find solutions that will strengthen our community for years to come. I know we can do it. It is the right thing to do for our citizens. John F. Kennedy said, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. And as I fulfill my duties, I commit to you today that I will never stop learning." With just more than 2,000 employees and 14 departments, just the city alone is a huge learning curve. I'll admit it. It's my mind is mush some days. And I remember when I met one of the first trips that I took in transition was to Boston. They had a newly elected mayor's conference, and the mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, addressed us at one of our luncheons, and he said, "Man, the best advice I can give to you is your first 90 days, you're not even going to remember anything that happened." He said, "I would go into a meeting and be introduced to somebody, and they said, 'Oh, we just met 2 days ago. We had this meeting about a really important topic.'" He says, "Your mind's going to go to mush. It's information overload, but it is so inspiring and so exciting." So if I forget that I had a meeting with any one of you, cut me a little slack there. And that willingness to listen and learn from not just our city employees, but the community leaders, all of the industry experts, and our citizens will make our community stronger. I believe leadership equals listening. Now, before we dive into any more details, I'm going to ask our new city administrator, Wes Crago, to come up. He just started on Monday to join me here, and we are excited to have him. Please welcome him to Spokane.
Well, good afternoon. I think it says a little bit about our mayor that in the middle of her State of the City address that she wanted to be generous with the podium and let me introduce myself to all of you. I want you to know probably what you would consider the worst thing about me right off the bat, and that's the purple. Feels very comfortable for me. It should have a nice gold W every so often. I've been pleased to learn that there are a few Huskies in quiet hiding around the community, and that hopefully we can strengthen ourselves just a little bit as time goes by. I absolutely cannot wait to dig in to every aspect of this amazing community. My family, we have moved here. Our daughter is with us today. My wife couldn't attend, but my career in public service did not start as a city administrator. I started out as a high school teacher of history and civics, and I was a coach. And my passion for public service started there, but it continued. When I was coaching and teaching in Ephrata, I was recruited to be on the city council as one of the youngest council members ever to serve there. Still am, actually, which I'm a little proud of that. But my passion is not just to be a teacher of 30 students, but it extends to a staff of 2,000 now, and eventually 220,000 citizens that I can serve just as an expression of this is who I am and what I do. I stepped into the council role with an open mind, with a command of the facts as often as I could, with a willingness to listen to community members, and a desire, a commitment to deliver on results for what the taxpayers expect. Working in local government in a small town is extremely unique. Transparency, accountability, and availability are integral to the job in a small town because you can't escape one another. I've learned to live by those principles, transparency, accountability, and availability, and they've become a part of my DNA. I actually enjoy that. And since moving to Spokane, I've discovered that our community of Spokane functions very much the same way as a large, small town. Everybody knows each other. Rumors travel at the speed of light, and politics are still extremely personable. We relate to each other on that level, and that feels very comfortable to me. It feels very familiar to me. If the mayor and I and the rest of our staff are not prioritizing your needs between you and the journalists in this community, we will know about it very quickly, and we will respond to that. The scale of Spokane is huge, but those principles of small towns, transparency, accountability, and availability will continue, and they're applicable here. It's just plain good governance. I've seen my share of challenges. I've been through and had to lead through very dark times. I've been able to lead through great, astonishing victories, but all the way, the consistent theme was bringing together a team of people to do what they thought was impossible for the common good. As a team, we lowered government spending and increased services and put more officers on the street. That experience is what I want to bring here to Spokane and aid the mayor, the council, and the staff, and all of you in making Spokane a great community. Success comes from pulling together different groups of people, collaborating, sharing, and effectively building one another up to go do something great, to get to work. Mayor Woodward and I are here to work for all of you. We're here to do the right things, to build on the successes of the past, which are amazing. We're here to listen. We're here to collaborate with you. We're here to create a team of people to serve this city. I've led a truly blessed life, a wonderful life, but believe me when I tell you this, the thrill I felt, the pride I felt the first day walking into City Hall as the administrator of Spokane staff, nothing compares to it. And that thrill is the same the day after, and it was the same thrill this morning. It's only my 5th day, but I'm very sure that is going to continue. It is, I can't explain to you. If you're a government nerd like me, this is a dream job. This is literally a dream job. This is an incredible opportunity. I thank the mayor for the trust. I thank all of you for the trust that you've placed in the city. This is a wonderful community, and I'm extraordinarily grateful for the opportunity to serve all of you. This staff at City Hall, as we've discussed, is phenomenal, and it's a little bit of a hidden secret, but we are all here to serve all of you. We will give our very best, our everything for this community. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with each one of you. Madam Mayor.
Thanks, Wes.
Doing great.
Thank you. Okay, so we have the purple going, and I told him to pipe down on the Husky fandom a little bit because we are in Cougar country, Wes. And I'll just tell you right now, I had a son that went to WSU and my daughter went to UW, so I've got all the bases covered. But I always did tell people that my allegiance followed my tuition checks, so that's only that's just the way it goes. But we're so excited to have Wes. Wes is going to be a huge asset to the city and to our community. And, I met him a while back and was so impressed with just his character and what he brings outside of just the institutional knowledge and experience of being a city administrator. He's just an all-around great guy. And so thank you, Wes. We're very happy, very lucky to have you. Over the last year, I've spent a lot of time talking to citizens, knocking on doors and listening to their concerns and what's important to them. I spent 7.5 months doing that in the neighborhoods almost every single day. And through those face-to-face conversations with our citizens and also through emails and texts and phone calls, they made their priorities very clear. And those are the backbone of my administration. And that is to reduce the number of our homeless, increase housing opportunities, expand on our economic growth, and improve our public safety. And so these 4 issues are the foundation of what we're going to be working on, and if you think about it, they all interrelate. You can't improve housing without a strong economy. You can't look at homelessness without considering housing. And a stronger economy and a growing metro area requires supporting and increasing our public safety. So they all dovetail. And these 4 issues will be driving our work this year, so that's what I'm talking about today. We are the stewards of hard-earned taxpayer dollars. Our services must meet the needs of our citizens in a way that is efficient, effective, and transparent. And that is my promise to you. And to be perfectly honest, those issues are not new. Margaret Thatcher said, "You may have to fight a battle more than once to win," and we're going to keep fighting. It's our belief that by coming together, collaborating in discussions that are open and honest, we can take the key issues and find the solutions that make sense for our community. But we will not be able to achieve our goals and vision by working in isolation, and I think that's what we've been doing too long. We will commit to transparency and accountability for all of our citizens. So for each of these issues, homelessness, housing, economic development, and public safety, community collaboration will be what's needed to bring the outcomes that we want. Advisory groups will be made up of community members, and they'll be supported by our city employees. And we'll work with the city council, because all of us working together, these diverse groups bring about the diverse ideas, the innovative ideas, the creative ideas, and that's what we need. So as we move forward and we work on those priorities, homelessness definitely is what's most talked about. It certainly was during my campaign. It's the most visible in our community. So I've heard a lot from citizens and organizations who say, we need, as a city, to rethink the way we address homelessness. In fact, I just received a letter recently from one of the city's strongest service providers, and he said that for 20 years he's been praying that solving homelessness would become a central focus for the entire community. And folks, I believe we have come at that moment. This is that moment. So we're bringing this issue to the forefront. The city will continue to ensure that we have safe and dignified housing options for those who are experiencing the hardship of homelessness. However, a key for us, our goal will be to move forward to find balance for the needs of all of our citizens. Those who are experiencing homelessness, those who work, shop, and recreate in our downtown core, and those who own property and operate businesses. Our Community Housing and Human Services Department, I'll tell you what, they have done an outstanding job this season. Can we give them seriously, can we give them an applause? That department has made a point of ensuring that we have available space every single night, and we have done a better job this season than I think the city has ever done. So they're doing incredible work. And with new organizations coming on board to help fill those needs as well, we look forward to building strong relationships with all of our community service providers. Just last week, I had the chance to join some of our CHHS workers as they did the annual point in time count, the survey that we use to make the decisions throughout the year on our homeless needs. And talking to those who are experiencing homeless, I mean, we went under the bridges, we were out on the street, we went everywhere. And it was very clear to me that we've come afar, but we have a whole lot more to do, a whole lot more. We have to look at ways to improve, and we're going to look at this year's successes and our setbacks, and that's going to help us moving forward. As we continue to refine and build our services to help provide what I think is extremely important, a path towards self-sufficiency, we need to help people where they are. We need to reach them where they are, but we have to make them productive members of society again. And that's what we want to do. Those experiencing homelessness, we want to ensure also that the money that we're spending on these services and programs are being used efficiently and effectively. We cannot just provide shelters anymore. We have to do more. We have to look for long-term solutions that will prevent people from experiencing homelessness in the first place. I've always said, homelessness is just a label. It doesn't address the core reasons why people find themselves without a home. It's also the right thing to do. So moving forward, our focus will be on transparency as we hold our service providers accountable for the funds that the city gives them. But we'll also improve our reporting of bed counts to provide accurate data on available spaces and better communicate those needs. Additionally, the city has multiple funding sources, and we're going to tap into those and invest in programs that require accountability. That's important, accountability. And we need to be better about informing our citizens about the way their dollars are being spent. I firmly believe this. Using general fund reserve dollars every winter is not right. And it can no longer be one government's responsibility to fund a regional issue. We need collaboration. Since taking office, we've received an abundance of community support on this issue. In fact, we have a list. It is a growing list of businesses, nonprofits, people who have been homeless, who want to engage on this issue and be part of the solution, and we look forward to working with them. Homelessness, of course, is not unique to Spokane. It is a national issue, and our local and state governments are struggling to find solutions. The mission of our homeless advisory group will not be to find that golden ticket. During the campaign, everybody wanted, find that wand so you can wave that magic wand and make it all disappear. This is a complex issue. It's going to take a lot of time to solve. And I'll tell you what, we may not solve it, but we have to do a better job of managing it. And we can be, I believe Spokane can be an example that the rest of the country can see about moving that needle and helping people become productive members of our community. We also need to look upstream at the issues that lead to homelessness in the first place and find the solutions that work here. So we're excited to work with all of our stakeholders on this issue. If you would like to be part of that, please contact my office. Along with the challenge of homelessness, we have to take a hard look at housing. With a comprehensive plan that was first established in 2001, many people, hundreds of people in this community, got together, along with the Plan Commission, the City Council, and the Mayor. And we all knew at the time that housing would need to be managed to accommodate for long growth and all the development. So look at the growth that we have right now. I mean, we knew this back in 2001. Our Realtors Association knew this was sounding the alert 5 years ago. We got to build more. We have to provide more housing. As the plan points out, affordable housing of all types needs to be available, regardless of income level, in an environment that is safe and clean and healthy. Today, there is an urgent need to bring together a diverse community with experience and interest to ensure that quality housing and diversity in our housing takes place. Income barriers shouldn't be what forces you to live in a certain neighborhood or in a certain district. Our citizens deserve the right and the ability to choose the neighborhood and find the housing that works for them, and we have to provide those options. But as we all know, including Wes, who just bought a new house, thank goodness it was in January because it wasn't as crazy as it gets in the spring and the summertime, but it's increasingly difficult to find available housing. If we want to continue to maintain and even continue the exceptional quality of life that we all enjoy here in Spokane, our housing available needs have to be improved, and again, at all income levels. The vision for the housing task force that we are set to form will be to ask the hard questions that can't be solved in a single soundbite and to recommend solutions that will help revitalize neighborhoods. So what are those questions? Are the incentive programs and housing development projects seeing the success that is needed to transform neighborhoods? How are we encouraging development of a wide variety of housing? Are city standards for land development efficient and cost-effective? And where is the system broken? And how do we fix it? Last year, the City Council proposed 2 ordinances regarding housing protections for tenants in our community. And as expected, there was a lot of feedback from tenants and landlords. It was clear that this comprehensive legislation would significantly impact our city and the rental housing market. And so the City Council chose to listen more and discuss more and defer any direction on that legislation until next month. But as a renewed discussion begins, it is going to be important for the city to take a hard look at that ordinance and the consequences that it will have on our community. We know that we need to address the few landlords who are taking advantage of vulnerable tenants and who are offering substandard living conditions. We need to act on those. Thankfully, it's a small percentage. But we also have to make sure that we are not wrongfully punishing those who are providing fair and safe conditions in rental opportunities. We can't risk losing them or their units. We look forward to collaborating with the City Council to make sure that there is balance. We need balance in our laws. With open lines of communication, we are hopeful that we'll be able to have effective discourse that will result in solutions that are right for the city of Spokane. It's not going to be an easy task, but again, it's the right thing to do. And while we may have challenges with homelessness and housing availability, we are a thriving community and we have a thriving economy. We have made some tremendous progress, and I believe our quality of life here in Spokane is second to none. That's why people are coming here. The secret is out. Due to the hard work of Mayor David Condon, former Mayor Condon, are you here today? I don't know if he is. Is he? Thought he might be here. I'll tell you what. Can we just give him a round of applause for 8 years? I always said that he gave our next mayor an incredible gift, and that is a city on solid financial footing. And what he has done for this city, all his initiatives and breaking the 40-year one-term curse, it's amazing. So those are big shoes to fill. But I just want to thank him for all the work that he's done. Our Spokane River has never looked cleaner. I've been here 30 years. It's fantastic. We have improved infrastructure above ground and below ground, and we are growing targeted areas to revitalize our neighborhoods, and we can all thank him for that in the city. Good work. As we continue our growth, it will be important to ensure that businesses, both new and existing, feel connected and valued in our community. We're committed to greater outreach to our business owners, not just downtown, but throughout the city. In fact, my administration, when new businesses get their licenses, we are sending out thank you letters and welcome letters from the city to let them know how valued they are. In the fourth quarter of 2019, get this, fourth quarter, 3 months, we had more than 1,000 new business licenses issued, with the majority of those businesses being 10 employees or fewer. 1,000 in 3 months. People want to work here. People want to start businesses here. People want to relocate businesses here. We're in a great place. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft do not make up the entirety of our city space because the majority of those business licenses had just 10 or fewer employees. We're built around the unique shops that do face-to-face business, and that's what makes us unique. And we must be responsive to their needs. Yes, we have a vibrant core that stretches businesses from Francis to 54th. They all contribute to the vitality of our economy. And for everyone who commutes to work on the freeway, and who does? Who commutes to work on the freeway? A lot of you do. I'm going to tell you, you may agree with me or you may not, but we need to address the look of the I-90 corridor. Do I have agreement there? Spokane is full of amazing assets. We've got parks, unique restaurants, breweries, and a fantastic cork district, an urban river, lots of coffee shops, lots of coffee. I love that. But we have a freeway that invites, we need to do better to have a freeway that invites people to exit off and enjoy all of those assets. And this begins by engaging with our businesses along the corridor. And because of that, I'd like to give a nod to our strongest partner in that effort, and that is Spokane County. So would Commissioner Cooney, Commissioner Kearns, and Commissioner French please stand up, and can we thank you for all the work that you are doing to work for the good of the city along the I-90 corridor? Thank you. Now let's keep that work up. We're also encouraged by our public development authorities. Our PDAs are investing in community outreach, infrastructure, economic development partnerships, and land development. This is so exciting, and that's creating business and job opportunities. The Northeast University District and the West Plains, all doing tremendous work in their areas. I've talked with all of the directors and visited 2 of them, and it's phenomenal when you see what's going on. We're excited to continue collaborating and providing the supports for all of your projects, so just know moving forward, we're excited to work with you. But our economic growth extends beyond businesses. It also encompasses our neighborhoods. And I know that some of our neighborhoods might feel a little bit neglected. That's changing. Our neighborhood councils, all 29 of them, contribute diverse ideas and have intimate insight into what their neighbors and their neighborhoods need. So as part of my outreach, I am planning to visit as many of those neighborhood council meetings as possible. Some of them are already on my calendar for next week. Hold me to it. If you don't hear from me, give my office a call. But we want to know the issues that are facing all of our citizens close to home. And that's getting right into the neighborhoods and finding out what the unique issues are. If we want our businesses to invest in diverse ideas, we have to listen to our citizens and provide them the necessary tools to revitalize and enhance the safety of their neighborhoods. And speaking of safe neighborhoods, we have arrived at one of the most important topics of our citizens: public safety. Our hardworking public safety departments are at the heart of our city. Our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, and our emergency medical responders all work every single day to keep you and our city safe. Whether it's a house robbery or a fire or somebody experiencing a heart attack, they are dedicated to make Spokane the safest city of its size. Our Spokane Fire Department, I love this. They've always had a passion for community outreach. Many fire response emergencies can be prevented with the right tools, so they're doing a great job of educating. The fire department right now, in fact, is moving forward on a renewed effort toward community risk reduction. It's not a new concept. It's something that they've been doing for a while now, but its sights sets to offer education, inspections, installing smoke alarms, and a lot more. And by using community risk reduction more effectively, our fire department is using data to identify priorities to keep our community safer. And then they're able to follow up with targeted programs and resources to reduce the number of life-threatening emergencies. So thank you, fire department. You guys are doing a fantastic job. In fact, let me just tell you that the world is taking notice. We have people who are traveling to Spokane from all over the globe to learn about our social worker program, our behavioral response unit, our alternative response unit, hotspotters, and integrated medical programs. We will continue to stress outcome measurements, looking inward to help develop innovations from the data and the feedback that we give. So just know that we have measurements in place. The focus on efficiency also applies to our police department. And one of our priorities from the very beginning has been to give our law enforcement officers the tools that they need to do their jobs effectively. That means more police officers and greater visibility throughout our neighborhoods. This is the cornerstone of successful community policing modeling. Officers not just in cars, but engaged and connected with community members face to face, whether that's downtown or in our neighborhoods. This approach ensures that all of our citizens feel safe and comfortable working, living, and visiting our great city. So today, I'm very excited to say this. We are very close to announcing a priority in my administration. We are delivering on our commitment to move our downtown precinct back into the core of our city. I wanted to be able to use this event as the time to make the announcement, but we have a few more details to work out. We have identified the funding. We have identified a location. We have an internal working group that we're utilizing to make all the plans. And we will have a full announcement in 2 weeks. So look for that. I'm so excited. Timeline is thanks to all, thank you. We couldn't do it with without all of our partners, though, and that's the Downtown Spokane Partnership, that's Spokane Transit Authority, City Council members, Chief Meidel, and Captain Singley, who went with us and toured a lot of the locations to get the downtown precinct in place. So through open and honest collaboration, we're able to produce long-term solutions that challenge our city. What it means is we have to work together. We have to prioritize the needs of our community, collaborate with our local and regional partners, and deliver meaningful results for all of our citizens. So I want to thank you for being here. If you want to help on any of our initiatives, homelessness, housing, economic development, public safety, please let my office know. And again, my personal thanks goes to Pastor Lonnie Mitchell. I've known you for many, many years, and you are such a wonderful person. Thank you for offering the prayer today. Cable City 5, our team over at Cable City 5, thank you. They do great work telling the stories of our city. And I tell you what, every single time that I meet a city employee, I tell you what, I don't go through the employee door when I go to work. I go through the front doors of City Hall. And I say hi to the people in the lobby. I say hi through the security. I go up the elevator. I introduce myself to people. I find out what department they worked and how long they've been in the city. And I go, oh my gosh, that's a story. That's a story. So I already told Jeff Humphrey. Is Jeff here? Jeff, working at Cable 5, we worked together at KREM and at KXOY. In fact, he and I started the very first the same day together, our very first day, October 5th of 1990. And here we are again, our third job together. I don't know who's following who. I'm following you this time, but I'm going to engage Cable 5 and Jeff to tell many, many more good stories, because there are so many of them out there that you guys have no idea what's going on sometimes. I don't mean that in a bad way, but we're going to let you know all the good things that are going on. That was kind of weird. That sounded kind of weird, didn't it? I didn't mean for it to. But I also want to thank the city's communication department and also my staff. I have an amazing staff. We have amazing department heads. Everyone's asking me, how are you doing in this first month? And I said, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. But just know that I don't have to do this alone. I have an incredible team, and we're building that team. And we're going to do the best work for the city. So thank you for being here. Next year when we do this, I'm going to have a whole lot more to say. So thank you.
Thank you.